evening and welcome to Heat 9 of the Krypton Factor. And if you've been with us throughout the series so far, I'm sure you'll agree that it's living up to its reputation as television's toughest quiz. And coming up later in the program, the assault course, as the contestants face what must seem to them an insurmountable succession of 20 obstacles. Ella Henry from last week proving that when it comes to determination, size is no handicap. Tonight, 2 more Australians and 2 New Zealanders compete for the title and the trophy. Let's meet them. Richard Catterall is a 30-year-old maths teacher from Martin, New Zealand. Richard competes in marathons, loves old-time dancing, reading, tramping and chess. Selina Wilson is 35 years old. She makes gold coins at the Mint in Perth, but doesn't get to take any home. Selina goes canoeing and bushwalking. From Palmerston North, Dean Soul is a 22-year-old import consultant with wide-ranging interests, from rugby to computers, from astrology to the share market. Perhaps the two go hand in hand. From Melbourne, Australia, Nigel St John Sweeting, 34 years old, and he works in the music copyright business. Nigel plays golf and he also plays several instruments. And it's time to put them to the test. Tonight, we exercise our contestants' mental agility with a test of numerical order. Contestants, I'll give you a list of numbers. All you have to do is repeat them in correct numerical order. For instance, if I say 1527, you reply 1257. We start with you, Richard. 8576.
5678.
Correct. Selina. 7465.
4567.
Correct. Dean. 9687.
6789.
Correct. Nigel. 6354.
3456.
Correct. Into round 2. Richard. 85136.
56813.
Correct. Selina. 74125.
45712.
Correct. Dean. 96147.
67914.
Correct. Nigel. 63114.
34611.
Correct. Into round 3. Richard. 536127.
356712.
Correct. Selina. 758149.
578914.
Correct. Dean. 647138. I must hurry you.
467813.
You're correct. And Nigel. 425116.
245611.
Correct. Another clear round. Round 4. Richard. 17584918.
4581719.
No, I'm afraid I'll eliminate you in this round. You've got them out of order. Selina. 16483917.
3. I've lost it.
Okay, you too are eliminated in this round. We go on to Dean. 15948516.
48914.
No, this is a disastrous round for everybody, it seems. You're out of order, so I must eliminate you too. On to Nigel. 17483918.
3, 4, 9.
No, you two are out of order in round 4, so it was a clean sweep for round 4. Well, a very interesting situation has developed. It's never happened in the series before, all the contestants being eliminated in the same round. So at the end of round 1, each contestant has a Krypton Factor of 2. Now to our popular mini-dramas and a test of observation. The two takes appear identical, but there are, in fact, 5 differences, and we score 2 points for each difference correctly observed. Contestants, would you put on your headphones, turn to your screens, and concentrate all those powers of observation. Take 1.
What's that? How do you get out of here?
It's all right, Sarah.
There's someone here. Where are you?
Over here.
Does anyone live here?
Not anymore.
I can't stand it. Charles, I don't like it.
But I think you must agree that it's a property with great potential for the first time buyer.
Take 2.
What was that? How do you get out of here?
It's all right, Sarah.
There's someone here. Where are you?
Over here.
Does anyone live here?
Not anymore.
I can't stand it. Andrew, I don't like it.
But I think you must agree that it's a property with great potential for the first time buyer.
Contestants, you have seen and heard both versions. Turn toward us, please, and write down the differences you observe. And while they're doing that, for those amongst you at home who like to spot the changes, here are all the 5 differences. First, lighting the candle. In take 1, she lights it. But in take 2, it was the man. Then the candelabra. In take 1, the 3 candles were red, but in take 2, they were white. The third difference, those rats. In take 1, 2 of them, but in take 2, there was just 1. Next, the man's name,
Charles.
which became,
Andrew.
and finally, the moustache. In take 1, no sign of it, but in take 2, there it is. Well, let's see how many differences our contestants observed, and it's been a very high-scoring round. Richard Catterall observed 4 for 8 points. Selina Wilson, 3 for 6 points. Dean Sol observed 5 differences, and this is the first in the series, for 10 points, and so did Nigel St John Sweeting. He also saw the 5 differences, and he scored 10 points. So at the end of round 2, with Krypton Factors of 12, the leaders are Dean Sol and Nigel St John Sweeting. On to the Army Assault Course, an exercise in physical ability and endurance, as the contestants push themselves to the limit in a straightforward attempt to be first across the line.
Competitors, are you ready?
And first away, 35-year-old self-employed gardener Selina Wilson. Selina's a keen bushwalker and enjoys caving, so we'll have to keep an eye open for her in the upward tunnel climb later in the course.
Double foot landing. Yeah, way to go.
As of now, she's moving methodically and carefully, aware, no doubt, that there's a long way to go.
Work hard. Get the foot over, get the foot over. Yeah, way to go.
That little gesture of victory almost spoiled by an uneven landing, but she's recovered. Clears the water jump. Now it's off to the scramble net. As we've pointed out before, this obstacle is relatively more difficult for our female contestants because it does involve a measurable requirement of upper body strength. But Selina's coping well, her instructor continually giving her good advice and support. Next away, 34-year-old Nigel St John Sweeting in green, followed by 26-year-old Richard Catterall in blue. Selina's made up the scramble. And last away, the youngest competitor, 22-year-old Dean Soul in red, and he's really moving. Up front, Selina clears the hurdle and heads for the barbed wire. While in third place, Richard clears the wall. No problems with the jump. Now he's caught up with Nigel on the scramble. Here comes Dean in red. Selina's still leading, but it won't take long for the men to close the gap. Nigel's first away, towards the hurdles. But there's really not much in it at all at this stage of the course, early days yet. Selina's almost through the wire. But keep your eye on Richard Catterall in blue on the left of the picture. Just look at him go. He's taken the lead from Selina, who's looking a little tired. He's moving very strongly towards the water jump. But look at that jump from Nigel, straight out of a Tarzan movie. That's put them neck and neck. Another pretty spectacular leap from Dean Soul, who's also moving strongly. But the two up front are setting a cracking pace. Neck and neck over the plank. Still together on the stepping stones. And there's nothing in it as they reach the bars. Nigel's making better time, grasping alternate bars. Dean's only seconds behind. But it's Nigel who's first into the upwards tunnel climb, with Richard maybe 5 seconds behind him. There's absolutely no room for error on anyone's behalf. And it's Nigel, first out of the 3-meter underground climb. Up the ramp. And Richard's still keeping it a very close race. Dean out of the tunnel. Oh, an unfortunate slip there, costing precious time. But just look at this. Richard and Nigel are still level pegged as they take the high catwalk to the Burma Bridge as swiftly as possible. Dean's only moments behind. Just one slip could affect this race drastically. If anything, 34-year-old Nigel St John Sweeting is marginally ahead of 26-year-old Richard Catterall. But there are still 4 obstacles yet to go, and anything can happen. Nigel's still in the lead on the way to the wall. And look at this tremendous burst of speed from Richard. Slight lapse of coordination for 22-year-old Dean. It could have been tricky, but he's moving well. Almost there. Good landing. Up on the wall, the younger man has taken the lead. Well, wall climb's a killer. Richard launches himself well. The swinging legs will give him extra speed down the line. Legs raised. A perfect landing. And he's first to reach the ground net. But as Nigel runs to join him, remember that as we've seen so many times, a bad technique here at the net can lose a race. The race's youngest contestant, Dean Soul, still making good time, but it's looking like he's going to have to settle for third. But it's Richard Catterall who's first out from under the net, and he races home with tremendous effort. Well done, and 10 points. Dean's done well to close the gap. But Nigel St John Sweeting is through, over the hurdle, racing towards the finish for second place and 6 points. Back at the wall, Selina's making a determined effort. Dean Soul clears the final hurdle. No doubt feeling a twinge of disappointment that he was never quite able to catch up with the leaders, but well done, 4 points. Now Selina, all she has to do is finish the course and she'll collect 2 points. And with the amount of energy and tenacity required to get this far on the assault course, they'll be the hardest 2 points you'll ever have earned. By now, every muscle is screaming for a rest. And that's what makes this net so difficult. But in true Buff Milner style, her instructor gives her maximum psychological support.
Use the elbows. Push your way through. Yeah, way to go. Keep it going.
How can you sound enthusiastic when I'm dead out?
But at last she's out. Over the hurdle. There's just enough left for a sprint. Well done, Selina. Cross the line and 2 well-earned points. Well, Richard certainly streaked away, but Nigel and Dean swapped places several times and made it a very interesting and intense battle for second and third. Let's go to the scoreboard. Richard Catterall scored the possible 10, Selina Wilson 2, Dean Sold 4, and Nigel St John Sweeting scored 6 points. So after round 3, the leader with a Krypton Factor of 20 is Richard Catterall. Now to the deceptively simple puzzle of the ring. Contestants, would you please take your places at your respective tables? Now what you have to do is remove the ring from the board by threading it through the holes. And you may begin now. Like many of the Krypton Factor's intelligence tests, this one seems deceptively easy. But it does, of course, contain traps for the unwary. So it's a good idea to stand back and try to assess the puzzle before beginning. Watching Selina here, it's obvious how the ring is moved through the frame. But what the contestants will have to do is search for the key. And the key is that the diameter of the ring is equal to the radius of the circles etched on the frame. Having noted this, they should then work out the route to the exit positions either side of the top of the frame. And that will show them that there is only one way off. And that's the top right-hand side as we look at it. The trap that I mentioned earlier is that some of the holes are not exactly on the circle's circumference. And if you get the ring into one of these, you're soon at a dead end. Dean's almost there, he thinks, but now he's discovered the trap, and it won't go. Nigel's working out the route. But that's the wrong direction. All 4 contestants concentrating hard. Dean, convinced he's there, but he's not on the right circle to escape. Selina, she'll get nowhere with that hole. It's not on the circumference. Nigel moving in the right direction. Selina doesn't appear to be working to a plan. Dean's working his way across the top of the frame. He's looking good. He seems to have spotted the key. Nigel's still heading towards the wrong side. There it is, Dean Sold, first off the frame, very relieved, and 10 points. But Richard's distracted himself and he's just passed the hole that would let him out. Obviously, he hasn't discovered the key. Nigel's back at the start. But at least he's heading in the right direction. Selina seems to be lost. Here comes Richard Catterall, doing it properly this time. There we are, happy to be finished. Second place and 6 points. Closest to camera, Selina Wilson appears to be nearly there. But as you can see, she was outside the circle's circumference. Nigel St John Sweeting concentrating hard. But once again, he's off in the wrong direction. Selina's back at the start. I'm sure we can all appreciate how frustrated she must be feeling. But once again, she's missed the puzzle's key. But at last, Nigel's done it. That says it all. And 4 points for third. Now Selina. She seems to be on the right track. She can't quite believe she's out, but there it is. What a relief. 2 hard-earned points. Well, as I said at the beginning, the puzzle of the rings would be deceptively simple. Let's go to the scoreboard, where Richard Catterall scored 6, Selina Wilson 2, Dean Sol 10, and Nigel St John Sweeting scored 4. So at the end of round 4, 2 contestants level peg it into the critical last round with Krypton Factors of 26, Richard Catterall and Dean Sol. Now to the final and deciding contest tonight. 2 minutes of quick-fire general knowledge questions to be answered on the buzzer. A point for every correct answer, a point off for an incorrect answer, and a point off for those who press and can't answer. We start the clock now. What marine animal has a row of steely blue eyes and leaps about by using a powerful muscle to snap its shell? The answer is scallop. In which city was Mozart born? Dean.
Vienna.
Salzburg. Who said to God, "Am I my brother's keeper," having murdered Abel? Dean.
Cain.
Correct. Who held the title World Chess Champion from 1972 to 1975? Dean.
Robert Fischer.
Bobby Fischer was the answer. Which chemical ignites spontaneously in air and has the symbol P? Dean.
Potassium.
No, it's phosphorus. Where together is there a deadbeat, escapement, a weight, and hands? Nigel.
A grandfather clock.
A clock. Name the Texas town flattened in May by a killer tornado. Saragossa. What brittle savory biscuit, originally from Germany, is eaten in the form of a knot or stick? Dean.
Pretzel.
Correct. Who starred in the 2 films, The Maltese Falcon and The African Queen? Dean.
Humphrey Bogart.
Correct. The Greek god Proteus was responsible for attending which flock of animals? It was seals. What is the name of the appendage that maintains the balance of a fish during locomotion? Nigel.
Fin.
I wanted the dorsal fin. In the play Macbeth, which 3 people planned to meet Macbeth ere set of sun? Nigel.
The 3 witches.
Correct. Which writer created the anti-hero Alec Leamis in his novel of 1963, The Spy Who Came In From the Cold? Dean.
John Le Carre.
John le Carre. What term refers to the movement in art to which Andy Warhol contributed his painting of Campbell's soup cans? Pop art is the answer. In which country were the Duchess of Windsor's jewels sold in August? Dean.
Switzerland.
Correct. What name has history given to the Allied expedition of World War I, initiated for the purpose of gaining control of the Dardanelles and Bosphorus Straits? Dean.
Gallipoli.
Gallipoli. What human bones are activated by the triangular trapezius muscle? The shoulder blade. And that's it. It's all over. And the winner, who has achieved the highest Krypton Factor of 29 in tonight's contest, is Dean Sol. Well done, everybody. It was a very close competition right into the middle of the last quiz. Next week, Heat 10 of the 12-heat series, so only 3 more chances remain for Australian and New Zealand contestants to secure a place in the semi-finals of television's toughest quiz. Until next week, good night.
As next Saturday night is election night, there'll be no Krypton Factor or Cosby Show.